Peace and greetings, brothers and sisters. Today we're going to shine light again on Uncle Moor, Prince Moor, who was in North Carolina in the 1800s. He wrote with his own hand that he was kidnapped by Christian mercenaries and held by the Governor Owens of North Carolina in 1800s. He was an Islamic adept scholar. He was a prince. He was a Moor, and he was in North Carolina, 1800s. His writings, also, he said that he was of the bloodline of Ali. So who do you think this brother is bloodline with? If Noble Drew Ali ever had a claim to bring before the nations of the world. Also, the Circle 7 and questionnaire you see on Library of Congress, it's been filed within these manuscripts with Uncle Moor since 1927. Honor your foremothers and forefathers so that your days may be long upon the earth. Nonetheless, Noble Drew Ali speak before the nations of the world, and he has all of the writings that Uncle Moor wrote about him being kidnapped by Christian missionaries. The brother Uncle Moor, again, was an Islamic adept scholar. He was writing in Arabic everything that was happening to him, and he was writing down, keeping his studies down. And the Europeans was taking these transcripts, trying to transcribe and translate them, and sending them off to other Europeans. And all of it is in unity with what Noble Drew Ali said. Within Omar ibn Said's writings, he writes that many faces will be turned white and black, and they must run this race only after they resurrect from the dead. He also speaks of it being over 50,000 years old. Omar ibn Said has a mosque in North Carolina that has a red flag on the left and the U.S. banner on the right. Come on, brothers and sisters. This is not a key you want to step over. The Moorish Empire reached all the way from Fula all the way to here. Noble Drew Ali had in writing of Prince Moor, his Uncle Moor, kidnapped by Christian missionaries to North Carolina and put into slavery. And how dare Library of Congress, all they do is keep writing slave, slave, slave on this brother. When he was a Moorish prince, how dare you just try to bury it with the only slave that has manuscripts of describing what happened. He was a Moorish prince brought through Moro Castle in Havana. Noble Drew Ali knew what was going on. He had full proof that his bloodline was enslaved, and they was handing this man Bibles and everything, turning all his writings and flipping them around. That's where Levi Dowling gets his little stuff from, because again, all the Europeans was sending this stuff all over, trying to translate it. Then people was writing, man, are you going to send me the manuscript back, man? And they would never get the manuscripts back. There's an envelope that says Nazarene on it. There's the origin of man that Prince Moor wrote. This was Noble Drew Ali's uncle, and he was of the bloodline of Ali, and he was an adept Islamic scholar. Many faces will be turned white and black. He also breaks down the creation of man. He speaks about Gabriel, and that's why he spoke of Gabriel, because that's who keeps coming through Ali. That's who Noble Drew Ali was, the angel Gabriel, just like the angel Gabriel that came to Mohammed. All of them are the bloodline. He speaks of Gabriel being manifested, how he stayed on his knees for like 3,000 years until his throat grew and he could be able to speak to Allah. He breaks down a lot of stuff, brothers and sisters, and how dare Library of Congress call this man slave, 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 slave. No, tell the truth. So every time you have slave on your site, switch it out and say kidnapped by Christian mercenaries. Wherever Ali stands in the world, it is of Muslim dominion. It's of Ali dominion. You know what this means, brothers and sisters? Noble Drew Ali just didn't pull the Ali. He didn't just go to Egypt or he didn't just receive the Ali. He's of the bloodline. This man was bloodline of Ali in North Carolina in the early 1800s to mid 1800s. He's called Prince Moro, Uncle Moor, and also Noble Drew Ali's questionnaire in Circle 7 is added in with this manuscript. But they're not going to blow it up like that. They're going to keep calling them slave, 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 slave. Because you know what happens when everybody finds out that Noble Drew Ali was of the bloodline. There wasn't no making a new Islam or just coming out of nowhere. This man was of the blood, brothers and sisters. You know how potent that is? That's why Noble Drew Ali says Chicago was the new Mecca, because there was a new Sharif in town. There was a new Ali, but of the old bloodline. Noble Drew Ali, where his home office is and his home is, what, 3603 Indiana Avenue? Yeah, Ali's home office. It's still vacant today. You know why? Because that's where all you Moors are supposed to take your Hajj to. You're supposed to have a building on that lot or something. Noble Drew Ali's basement was filled in and everything. It's sitting there bare right now. Moors, you're supposed to be taking the Hajj to Chicago to that land. At least put up a little building or something and go there, do your Moorish prayer, have a book there for all the Moors to write their appellation where they took the Hajj. Then you get your little document that says, hey, Moors, you took your Hajj to the new Mecca where Noble Drew Ali was, the bloodline of the prophets of the world of times in history, Moors. What the hell? 45,000 notes is what you can get it for. I pray every night before I go to sleep. I run through my mind, oh, if Allah ever brings the finance, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that land right there and have all the Moors take their Hajj there, do their prayers, write their appellations. The new Mecca, Moors. All these brothers from the East is coming there. Before you know it, they're going to be saying this is their new Jerusalem. You better get on to it, Moors. We got a demonstration coming tomorrow, Holy Friday, brothers and sisters. I just had this, I needed to let this flood from my heart, and it is from the heart, brothers and sisters. Every night I think about that, man. You know, people dream about Lamborghinis. You want to know what my Lamborghini is, Moors? Y'all taking the Hajj to Mecca and having that Noble Drew Ali plot, man, and taking your Hajj there. You got to have a spot where you're going to have your spot to where you took your Hajj, and that's where it is. And plus, always, the Unity Hall. Yeah, it's apartment buildings. It's been rebuilt. Oh, no, somebody's has it. No, Allah's the best of planners. He had it rebuilt for you for free, but it'll come back in your hands. But that empty lot over there, man, that's how my heart feels until you Moors fill it up. Islam.